So here's the raw reality of running a YouTube agency. Now, this video is gonna have absolutely zero cuts, and I'm gonna basically speak about my experience scaling a YouTube agency to the point where, right now we have a team of around 15 people, and I just want to talk about like the benefits, the pros, the cons, and tell you like what it's like to run an agency like that. Like pretty successful one, I would say. We're not doing maybe like 100K months. We're not working with like the biggest names in the industry, but we have amazing clients. We have a team of 15 people. We're doing cool numbers in terms of like revenue. And yeah, like I'm gonna compare this business model also to a lot of like other agencies, but also like just other businesses. And I'm not an expert, like I've never run an advertising agency, so I might be wrong about some things. And if that's the case, please feel free to just let me know in the comments. I'm open to the conversations. But I think a lot of people right now are starting like this type of like content, YouTube agencies as well. And it's kind of like becoming a trend. And this is kind of what prompted me to make this video, because a lot of people see this business model as something, like something, yeah, like kind of like a new thing out there. Thinking that this is basically like easy to scale, easy to get clients, like everyone wants it. And easy to sell, high ticket retainers, all of that stuff. And kind of like that's what people see on the outside. But it's also a business model that has a lot of different things that are kind of hard about like running the agency like that. So first thing that comes to my mind is that compared to, let's say, advertising agency, like usually you need a big team, because for example, like what we're doing for our clients is we're helping them with grow on YouTube and get clients through YouTube basically. So kind of like that's what our service is about. And our main offer right now is still a done for you service, where we actually do everything for our clients. So from the strategy to the thumbnail design to the YouTube SEO to the video editing to over like even consulting, because like even though it's like a done for you offer, we have a consulting part to it where we help our clients with everything that is left like on their side. So pretty much just like recording videos. And the first thing is like you kind of need a big team to do that, just because you cannot do everything yourself. Like that's obvious, especially if you want to scale. But at the same time, right now I don't know the numbers exactly. Like I would need to open up the Excel sheet that we have, but we're putting out weekly for our clients, tens of videos. Like every week we need to edit like 50 videos. We need to create 50 thumbnails. We need to, basically do all that stuff, make sure that they go on time, coordinate the work of the entire team. So compared to like 8 advertising agencies, where when you set up when you set up ads, maybe only thing you have to do is come up with like new creatives. So there might be a lot of work there, but also like you work maybe with like contractors, maybe with some freelancers. And as I said, like internally, like we need a team of 15 people. Now, just to be very clear also, it's not like we have 15 people in-house full time, because even though our people, like, our team is working pretty much just for us, also like some people we just like, for example, with the short form, with the video editing, let's say, we have more video editors than we maybe need, just because like some of the people that we have are maybe just like, part-time, like half-time, so they are spending maybe like 20 hours a week working. So possibly we could have less people. It's just we'd rather have more, just because we now can serve like more clients at the same time. So for example, if we get one day 5 videos for editing, we have like 5 editors that can do it basically same day. So that's why also like we have pretty fast like turnaround times, which wouldn't be possible if we have like bigger team, a smaller team, so just like 3 people but full time. So that's also like why the numbers might seem a bit off. That is basically the reason. We just have like kind of more people just so we can make sure that we have a quick turnaround. But when you're running an advertising agency, like to get to the point where you make like 50K per month, with also like when you have a pricing of like the retainer and then performance, like percent of the ad spend, whatever that is, like usually first thing you make more per client, which is also possible with the YouTube agency. It's just like harder, I think, but you make more per client, so like you need less clients. So that's also like why you just need less team members, and there's not that much work to do, because like you need maybe one person to like manage the ads from the technical point of view, so just like business manager, and then maybe a team for the creatives, coming up with like angles, all that stuff. But still, like you don't need that big of a team, like maybe a copywriter. But yeah, it's just like kind of easier, I would say, but at the same time harder, just because like for me running ads is kind of like I know nothing about running ads pretty much, so like for me it seems really, really hard. And with like content agencies, like you need a big team. Now second thing, which is actually like one of the hardest things also, is that just like everyone likes different things. So even though the editing style that we have, the thumbnail style we have, most clients like that, and we always want to adjust to what our clients is looking for. So if let's say our client is sending us, okay, I want editing like this, I want thumbnails, in this style, like we always try to adjust. But then there's might be a lot of misunderstanding, even though we have a good process with like onboarding, developing the style for the thumbnail, we have a processes for that. Still, we have situations where what we see as a good thumbnail and a good looking thumbnail, like what pretty much like 95% of people see as a good thumbnail, for that specific client, it might look, really bad. Like this is totally what they're not looking for, like totally different style. And for example, like we had a client lately that decided to leave after, creating maybe like 2 videos. And the type of thumbnails that they sent to us were just like looking so bad. Like we couldn't even do that. Like our team couldn't even do that bad thumbnails in terms of like, we have a specific style and they are creating like really good thumbnails. Like our team is creating like top thumbnails, I would say. And then a client comes to us and says, I want this like shit thumbnails. I want this, bad looking thumbnails, because they viewed it as a good. And I cannot say that. Of course, like the appearance is a thing, someone like everyone has their own opinions basically. But for us, like I would never show to other clients the type of channel. Like we could possibly do these thumbnails in that style that was like really bad, but I will never show this work. And I would never sign under this work. So like this is basically why we decided to kind of like part ways, just because it's better for them to find someone else that could develop, like do this style. But it looked like Canva, but like 10 times worse basically. So, but this is what they were looking for. Like we couldn't deliver on that. So that's like another thing that might be hard about like running this type of agency, is that even though it's mainly still like results driven, because what we want to do is like deliver our clients growth, deliver our clients leads and clients from YouTube. At the same time, there's like the style, of the editing style of thumbnail. There's just like some things that just different people want different things basically. And sometimes it's just hard to be on one page. And then if we have, let's say 15 clients, we might have like 15 different styles of editing, or like 15 different style of thumbnails. And it sometimes just gets a bit tough, to like, even for the team, like remember what client wants what, and like just keep track of everything. So that's like another thing. The third thing is that, with our service, like we made a huge progression over the years, just because I started out pretty much as just like YouTube consultant, maybe like even before that I was like a YouTube editor. So I was just like doing the editing. Then we basically expanded. We now offer everything. And then we do have this consulting part as well. But what we focus on right now mainly is just the aspect of also like getting clients from YouTube, because nowadays, like no one really wants just content, maybe except from people, like this is also like the best type of client for us is just people who are, let's say, over $50,000 per month. They already have like good systems in place, good backend, because then we launch YouTube and they are getting, crazy results with it. Like they are getting a lot of leads, a lot of clients. They know how to capitalize on that leads with the backend funnels that they have, or like the other social media following that they have. We can just like, YouTube basically is getting them amazing results then. But sometimes we're working with people who are not at that level yet. And then there's a big problem, because even though we do our best on the YouTube side of things, they are not able to close the leads that we are getting them, or they're not able to, get clients from their content, because of a lot of like different things that might happen. So that's also like a problem, because then with these clients, we need to also, right now what we're doing actually is like we're helping them with the backend as well. So like, okay, here's how we can actually collect those leads. Here's how we can then turn them into clients. And there's just a lot of work that needs to be done. So now, right now, we're not just like a content agency that just creates content for our clients, because we also need to have the systems, have the knowledge, and have the ability to help our clients with all of those other things. Because if we just help them with the content, this is actually a situation that we had, last year, that we signed a lot of clients that were at this like, beginning stages kind of. And because of it, they didn't really have a good backend. They didn't have a good sales process in place as well. And then we created good content, but even though the results were amazing, they didn't stay with us just because they didn't see the aspect of like, clients coming in, because they thought they can just like post videos and clients will come in. And even though they were getting leads, they weren't able to close them. So that was like kind of hard. So right now what we do with our clients, when we have someone that is pretty much like just starting out, or not at the level of like $50,000 per month, or at least, they don't have good backend systems, because of course that's not always comes together. Then we also need to help them with the backend. So that's like, basically an additional kind of service to what we're doing, but we need to do it so that the client actually stays with us. So that's also like one thing that might be a bit harder, but that's the same thing with like advertising. Like sometimes you have a client with ads, but then their landing page is like just not converting, or their whatever, like things like that happen. So you also like need to solve more problems basically. So even though people think, amazing, I'm gonna start a YouTube agency, I'm just gonna create content for other people, I'm just gonna like edit them, create thumbnails. There's actually a lot more to that than you think. Like you can easily get to like $10,000, $20,000 per month just like editing the content pretty much. So having kind of like a content agency. But if you want to scale past that, it might be hard because you won't be able to like charge really high tickets, you know, retainers. And then also like you won't be getting these clients that insane results that like other people that will do that can help them to get. So that's just like another thing about that. And then like next thing is kind of like tied with the first one. So just because you need a big team, now you need to be able to like train this big team and manage. So it's also a bit hard. Like for me, like, you know, I'm kind of evolving as a leader. Also like my partner, the same thing, like kind of like evolving as leaders, just because at the beginning stages, you know, when you maybe just have like one person working for you, like two people working for you, you don't even think about stuff like building a company culture, just making sure that everyone is on the same page. You don't even look at those things sometimes when hiring. You just want to get someone that is like, let's say, good at editing. And that is kind of like what I was doing when I was starting out. So I was just like trying to hire the best editor, the best thumbnail designer. And yeah, I had like really good people, you know, but sometimes they weren't really a fit for the type of company that we wanted to build. And then when we scale, when we got more people, you know, working for us, it kind of became a problem and we need to part ways with some people. So also like when you're scaling and you have a bigger team, there comes like more responsibilities, more problems. You know, people are leaving, people are, you know, maybe not satisfied with the work that they're doing. Maybe they are just not the right fit. You need to look at all of these other things and you need to basically like really evolve as a leader and make sure that you can manage your team well to be able to like, get clients results. Because for example, like I can come up with amazing thumbnail, you know, thumbnail ideation, thumbnail like titles, amazing editing. You know, I can come up with those ideas. Maybe I'm not that good at actually like putting them into reality as my team is. But then when you have a big team, you kind of need to train them to think this way also, like to really understand all the ins and outs. Because sometimes someone that might be a really good graphic designer might not be good at coming up with thumbnail ideas. So that's also like why I don't recommend people that like want to start a YouTube channel, like want to scale, to try to build their own team, just because, for example, like you can hire a good graphic designer, but they might be really bad at ideation, which is even more important than the skills itself. You know, then you need a video editor, then you need someone for like the SEO aspect of it, like the title, the description. Then you either need to find people that are really good at it, or you need to like train them. And if you want to train them, you also need to learn. So sometimes you need to buy courses or like consultants and like paid money. So like spend a lot of money on that. So that's also like why I don't recommend that, because I know how hard it is, just like from the perspective of, you know, YouTube agency owner, to build a team that like understands everything. And then, you know, to like be able to just make sure that everything goes on time and is, you know, taken care of and is exactly as it should be. And then, you know, maybe you need to do the quality control while working with agency like us. We just have a quality control in place internally. Now, the other problem is that sometimes, even though our editors check the videos, our quality control checks the videos, because of the amount of videos that we produce, some mistakes might just like fall off the cracks. So sometimes it happens. Like we always try to minimize that. But still, so like if you have your own team, like it's gonna be way harder for you to be able to like spot all of these mistakes, or maybe you might have your assistant doing the quality control, but still sometimes videos might go with like errors in it. So that's also another thing that is like pretty hard. And then basically also with the content agency, if you just want to do the content side of things, as I mentioned, you can only pretty much just charge like retainers, because it would be hard for you to charge anything like performance based if you're just doing the content and you don't really track like how much money someone made off of your work, kind of like of what you would help them with. So then you cannot really charge as much. Like with the retainers might range, you know, like $2,000, $3,000, like might be even $5,000 if you're like doing a lot of stuff for them and like you're really good at it. You know, doing really good editing, good thumbnails, good like short form content, all of that stuff. You could probably charge like people $5,000. I know people that charge that. Like we had a client that was, you know, also at similar level, but it's still just like not that easy. And especially if you're starting out, like you're not gonna charge that much. So you might be just charging maybe, you know, 1.5K, maybe 2K, you know. So like then it's also like harder to scale, because if you want to scale like $50,000, charging $2,000 per month, you really need like 25 clients. To serve 25 clients, you need to have a big team. And then also like clients will leave, like churn is a normal thing. You know, of course we want to minimize that by just like having really good clients results, having really good support, all of that stuff. But churn will always happen at even like the smallest percentage. It cannot go to zero. Like you just won't be able to keep all the clients forever. So because of it, you also need to constantly like sign new clients. That's like a normal thing in the agency space. You just need to continue signing new clients. So then you also need to spend a lot of time on sales, managing the team, and it's just getting harder and harder. But also, like, I don't want to say bad things about that, because like I love this business model, and I think you can really scale with that if you're good at it, if you have good systems. I just wanted to kind of like talk about it to show people that, you know, of course you can make good money, but it's also not that easy, especially at the beginning. So it's really good once you scale, and once you have an amazing team in place, you have good systems, you have, you know, amazing clients, amazing client results, then it's really nice to run, but it comes with a lot of problems that sometimes people just like don't think about. So that's basically what I wanted to do in this video, because like I said, see this trend, see a lot of people jumping into this space, and a lot of people jumping out of this space just when they find out about some of these things. So I'd rather just make this video and tell people how it really is, so they know what to sign up for. But also, like, don't get me wrong, as I said, if you want to just use this business model to get to like 10K per month, 20K per month, like that's easy. That's like, you know, that's normal. Like people doing that all the time. It's just like scaling past that might become like harder. But it's also a good thing, because like you can learn a lot, you can become a better leader, you can just, you know, a lot of stuff you can learn in the process. And then I'm sure that there's all the skills and all the knowledge that you're gonna get from scaling this type of business will also help you in the future if you want to like start new things. But that's basically it. Now, saying that, if you want to work with my agency and you want to grow a YouTube channel and use that to get more clients and ultimately scale your agency or coaching business, go down below and either book a call with me, or if you're not ready yet, just go watch the free training. And there's also a skill community that we just launched that you can join. Still, we have some spaces left at the $47 per month mark. So if you want to get access to the knowledge and the community, go ahead and click that as well. And that's basically it. I'm going to see you in the next one.